Sketched in 1955, Pablo Picasso's Don Quixote depicts the famous Spanish literary figure on horseback and his sidekick Sancho Panza on donkeyback, with several windmills on the background. At first glance, this may seem like an unusual piece for Picasso, who is mostly known for his blue period, surrealism, and various styles of cubism. But the fact is, he was an artist that was always exploring a variety of styles. Within the span of a handful of years, he would create paintings utilizing pointillism, cubism, and naturalism, with numerous drawings in between that would focus on more stylistic conventions. It's been estimated that he created over 50,000 pieces of art in his lifetime, often working on several pieces in several styles simultaneously. In an interview published in 1923, Picasso said, "The several manners I have used in my art must not be considered as an evolution or as steps towards an unknown ideal of painting. If the subjects I have wanted to express have suggested different ways of expression, I have never hesitated to adopt them." To me, he's saying if different content inspires you to characterize it in different ways, embrace it. Don't feel like you need to be restricted to only one method or approach. I think that's really cool, and I've tried to implement that same mindset in my own art by making portraits that use optical color mixing, minimalism, and more traditional pixel art, often taking advantage of the 3D nature of the Perler Bead medium. Back to Don Quixote. The depiction of these characters sees Picasso playing fast and loose with the lines. Their forms are exaggerated, almost cartoonish, and very expressive. It's a fun challenge to try to capture that aesthetic in the more rigid style of pixel art. I really like the stark contrast of the bold black figures against the clean white background, although there is some dispute if this was Picasso's intention. You see, the image was first featured in a French magazine that was printed in black and white. In 2010, some claim to have found the long-lost original drawing done in a blue-green paint. While this was verified by a scientist to be the original work, no other independent forensic judgment has been published since. They haven't even released a high-resolution photo of the piece. Maybe it is the original, or maybe, as others claim, the original Don Quixote drawing has been locked inside a safe located in a church basement in France since its creation in 1955. I like little mysteries that can surround artwork like that. Regardless, this is definitely the most well-known version of the piece. And finally, it's time to iron our own version. Now I can reveal to you that I've actually been making this piece backwards on the board. I flipped the footage so we could compare my tribute to the original in real time. I'll be ironing the back so we can flip it and display the clean, uniform aesthetic of the unironed side of the beads. This is just 8 by 10 inches, so it shouldn't be too tricky, but we're going to want to keep an eye on the seams where the boards meet. I've talked about board lines on this show before, but for any newcomers, of which there are many, thanks guys, board lines can occur because of a slight height discrepancy where pegboards interlock. See right there, you can see the beads on the top board fusing through the paper, but the bottom ones must be slightly lower and not getting the heat they need. So, I'll use the tip of my iron to give them some special attention. Those corners where the four boards come together are always the worst offenders. Make sure to get your beads at least somewhat fused before gently lifting them off the pegboards and onto a flat surface. No beads left on the boards. That's what we like to see. Now I'll just let the heat from the iron do the work. I'm not pressing down at all. Just taking my time, covering various sections, trying to get a nice even melt. When you're done, put some big heavy books on top to keep it flat. I'll let some time pass, about an hour, and then take a look at my handiwork. Very nice, those crisp black lines translated really well. And this is kind of silly, but when I was a kid, I didn't realize that this was another man on a donkey. I always thought this figure was like a funny little character who was trying to feed a carrot to the horse. I thought that for years. Anyway, I'll be mounting this on an 8 by 10 inch canvas using my hot glue gun. This will help sturdy up the piece and make it easy to hang and display. A tribute to an iconic piece of art with an 8-bit twist. If you'd like to create your own Don Quixote, you can click the piece to be taken to pixelartshop.com for the pattern. Any thoughts on what the next mini masterpiece should be? Let me know in the comments. I always love hearing your ideas. And finally, a special thanks to my producers here, whose generosity allows me to take the time to write, shoot, and edit every video. I'll see you soon.